Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, as some of you know, I have recently gotten lip fillers done, and I've been getting tons of requests to share my experience with them and just any other information there is that you need to know about them. Now, just a little disclaimer before we get started. Of course, I'm not trying to encourage lip fillers or any type of plastic surgery. I'm not saying that this is something that you need to do. It's just something that I wanted to try out. I've really been enjoying them, and I just wanted to share the information for those of you who are just curious or maybe are considering getting them done. I'm going to talk all about my experience. I actually got them done twice, so I'll talk about both times doing that, the healing process, pain, how much it costs, aftercare, what it is specifically that I get done, what I ask for when I go, all of that stuff. Also, I am not an expert on this. I've only been doing this the last few months, so I'm still pretty new to it. I'm just gonna share everything based on my own personal experience and based on what I have been told from the nurse who does my lip fillers. So keep that in mind. So lip fillers are not a permanent thing. Depending on what it is that you get done and what you get injected, they can last anywhere between 6 to 18 months. So what it is you're basically just getting some type of solution injected into your lips to add fullness, but eventually your body does break it down and they do eventually lose their plumpness and will kind of go back to normal size. So as far as the procedure and what actually goes down and the pain and all that stuff, keep in mind the 2 times I've got them done, I went to the same person. So I don't know, it might vary a little bit depending on who you go to, but the woman who does mine, she does her consultation first, obviously. If you have any pictures to show, she asks you a whole bunch of details, goes over everything, explains everything to you, lets you know everything, and make sure that you are totally on the same page with what results you want before actually getting started. Then she applies numbing cream. So you are numbed during the procedure. So I don't know, I feel like when you're watching someone else get it done or you're seeing videos of it, it looks so painful and it makes you cringe a little bit. But really when you're getting it done, it's not bad at all because you are numbed. So yeah, she puts numbing cream on, it sits there for a little bit. Then she puts some ice on your lips, and honestly, you're so completely numb. The most that you'll feel maybe is a tiny little bit of a pinch, but I swear it is not painful at all whatsoever, and it's really quick. The whole entire procedure from start to finish, the time I walk in till the time I walk out, is maybe 30 minutes tops. It's a really quick thing, and the actual injecting part only takes maybe 10 minutes. You might experience a little bit of bleeding, but it's not anything more than when you go get a shot at the doctor. So before you actually go to get them done, there are a couple things that the woman I go to tells me to avoid, about 48 hours prior to getting them done. When you make your appointment, the person that you're going to should give you all this information and let you know. But I know she says to avoid alcohol and avoid blood thinners like ibuprofen and stuff like that. I don't think it's for any serious reason. I think it's mainly just to help, with bleeding and bruising and stuff like that. And then right away, once she's done, you have your finished results already. The way they look as soon as they're done being filled is more or less what they're going to look like after they're completely healed. But then after a few hours start to go by, they will start to swell up. You might experience some bruising. That's all totally normal. I think it's the first 3 days to a week, I want to say, is when they will look pretty swollen and you'll have a little bit of bruising. And as far as the bruising, if you just put on a little lipstick, it'll cover right over them, no problem. But there isn't really any pain afterwards, even after the numbing cream wears off. If anything, they'll feel a little bit sore, and you probably will notice, especially the first time you get them done, your lips will just kind of feel stretched a little bit. They'll feel like there's something in there, but it's not necessarily a bad or uncomfortable feeling. It's just oh, I just got lip injections. And then she always says after 2 weeks have passed, that is when you have your absolute complete final finished product. That's when all of the swelling has completely gone down, all of the bruising should be healed, and you have your finished lips. So if you're thinking about getting them done for like a special event or something, I would book your appointment 2 weeks ahead of time. So that way, you know, you have time to like fully heal and all the bruising and swelling and stuff to go away. As far as like aftercare and what you have to do to take care of your lips, she says that the first 2 weeks you shouldn't drink out of a straw or kiss or do any kind of like sucking motion with your lips. And honestly, I try to just kind of avoid touching them as much as possible. I will put like some Vaseline or lip balm on, but I try to not apply too much pressure, and I just kind of leave them alone, leave them be, because you don't want to like move the filler around and like create any kind of lumps or bumps. But there aren't any like super big strict aftercare instructions. Mainly just be gentle and just try not to mess with them and just let them heal on their own. I never experienced any kind of like scabbing or anything like that from like the injection sites because the needle is so super tiny. It's not gonna create any kind of like damage or cuts to your lips. So as far as the price, this I'm pretty sure is going to vary depending on where you live, like most things. And it's also going to depend on the actual filler that you're getting. There are a whole bunch of different kinds. Some will give you a more fuller, plumper effect and last longer than others. So obviously those are going to be a little bit more expensive. And then it also depends too on how much you're getting done. The woman that I go to only ever does 1 full syringe, which I believe is 1 milliliter at a time. She never does any more than that. She says that that can cause damage to the lips and just be like too much and too much stress. So that's the most she does, and then she will do, you know, obviously less than that depending on what type of results you're looking for. But her prices for a full syringe range anywhere between $500 and $800. Actually, let me pull up her page and I'll tell you exactly. So yeah, they're between like $500 and $750. For a full syringe. And then obviously if you're gonna get less than that, the price will go down a little bit. So as far as what I specifically have gotten done to mine and what it is that I ask for when I go to her. So the first time that I ever got them done was back in May of this year, so about 5 months ago. And I did do a vlog that first time I got them done, so I'll put the link to that video in the description if you guys wanna go watch that and see like some of my thoughts when I first got done and actually watch me getting it done. But I was a little bit hesitant to do it that first time. I did want to try it and I was curious, but I was also scared of them looking ridiculous and really fake and just making me not look like myself. But whenever I would do my makeup, I always would overline my lips, especially like right in the center on the top lip. And I just loved how that looked. It just gave my lips a little bit more of like a poutier, fuller look. I didn't have like super tiny, thin, like non-existent lips to begin with, but I just wanted like a little tiny extra bit of fullness just to like enhance them a little bit more and give them the look of when I, you know, have my lipstick on. So I showed her pictures of how I overlined them and I said, you know, this is what I want them to look like. I don't want to go too crazy. I want to still keep them very natural. I want it to be something subtle. I explained to her that I was like nervous about it and that I didn't want to go too overboard. So the first time she only did half a syringe on me and she used Juvederm, which that one I believe gives you just like a minimal amount of fullness. It doesn't last quite as long as some of the other ones. That one I think lasts like 6 to 12 months and my results were exactly what I wanted. Very subtle. It was like a really nice easy way to like ease into lip fillers. Like I said, she only did half a syringe and she did it mainly in my top lip and then just a tiny little bit in the center of my bottom lip. Then the second time that I got them done, which was more recently, that was at the end of September, about 4 months after the first time getting them done. I'm not really sure if like my lips actually were dissolving and like went down at all. I don't really think so. I think I just kind of got used to seeing myself in the mirror every day and I just was like, I kind of want to do a little more. I want to like add a little more fullness, but I still wanted to keep them natural. I don't like the look of duck lips. I didn't want them to be like super ridiculous and fake looking. So the second time I got a full syringe and I got Juvederm Ultra. So more filler and also a different filler. This one gives a little bit more fullness and it also lasts longer. I believe the Ultra lasts 12 to 18 months. And this time I told her I want to add more to both the top and bottom lip and just give like a more pillowy type of look. So she asked me like a few specifics. She asked if I wanted like a more defined cupid bow or if I just wanted it to be like fuller up top. I went with the more defined. And then on the bottom, she asked if I wanted a keyhole, which basically it's like kind of a little dip right in the middle of your bottom lip that gives it like almost the appearance of like your lips are slightly open a little. So I decided to go with that option too. But the person that you're going to should ask you all of these questions. They should be very thorough with the consultation and explain to you what the differences are, what different types of looks you can do. And also they should just be able to know, like, based on your face and the shape of your face and all your other features, what is gonna work and be the most flattering. So yeah, like I mentioned, depending on what you get, they can last anywhere between 6 to 18 months. But you might go more frequently than that depending on what result you want. Because if you want to keep going a little fuller, a little fuller, a little fuller, then you might be going every like 2 to 3 months. You know, it all depends on what it is that you want to do, what results you want. Because keep in mind, if you have like no lips at all and you want like Kylie Jenner lips, you're not going to get that in one appointment, or at least you shouldn't be getting that in one appointment. You know, same thing like when you're getting your hair done, trying to go from black hair to like platinum blonde. It's going to take a few appointments, a few sessions. At this point now, it has been almost an entire month since the last time I got them done. So this is like my final result. This is where my lips are at now. So I should keep these results now for about a year or so. And lastly, I just wanted to mention like the importance too of going to someone who's good. Like make sure you're doing your research, look up reviews, look at the person's work, look at, you know, before and after pictures. And when you go and make an appointment with them, feel out the vibe. If you feel like they are just kind of rushing and they're not really like taking their time and being thorough with you and answering all of your questions and really explaining everything to you, then maybe you should look for someone else. You know, you should feel comfortable with the person that you're going to. Even if their prices are higher than someone else, ultimately you're going to be better off going to the better person, because I've seen a lot of people with really messed up lips and they look terrible, and then say you need to go and get them fixed, it's going to end up costing you even more money. And if you have to get them dissolved, I've heard that that is super painful. So, you know, you're better off just getting them done right the first time. And plus, you're getting something injected into your face. You want to obviously make sure you're trusting this person and that they know what they're doing and they're reputable and properly licensed and trained. The woman that I go to is actually a nurse. So I don't really know like law-wise what kind of licensing you need in order to do something like that, but they should have a medical background. So that is it for this video. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below in a comment. I will have the woman who does my lips, all of her information in the description. So if you guys live anywhere in like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, that type of area, she is amazing. I highly, highly, highly recommend her. I don't see myself ever going to anyone else. Like, she is the best. Before you go, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell notification so you don't miss any of my future videos. And feel free to go follow me on Instagram, leave me a comment, say hello, let me know what you thought of this video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.